Namaskar to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, wishing you all a very pleasant morning and definitely a very pleasant day. We are coming to the closure of the fourth edition of the India Energy Week and marking the closure with this grand closing ceremony, which we are just about to begin. So let me once again extend greetings to all present here, all the captains and leaders of the industry, all the senior officials and representatives from across ministries, the delegations who have joined us, the policy makers, decision takers, the heads and senior representatives from almost 120 plus countries who participated in these 4 days, and then all the innovators, the solution providers, the exhibitors, the challengers who had taken the challenge, the hackathon challenge, and then the startup challenge, which we had the startups, entrepreneurs, the students who joined us in these 4 days, and all the other stakeholders, the academicians, researchers, huge value chain of the energy sector, from the hydrocarbons, from the renewables, from the clean energy technologies. So welcome to all of you to the closing ceremony. We are going to be starting shortly. May I request you all to kindly be at your respective seats. In this 1 hour ceremony, we have today the awards which are going to be presented at the hands of the Honorable Minister, sir. Joining us here in the closing ceremony on the dais will be our Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Excellency Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri ji, along with our Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dr. Neeraj Mittal. They are going to be presenting also the awards. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have the awards to the startups presented, to the international startups who also took the challenge, the Hackathon Awards presented, and then the FIPI Awards, one of the most prestigious awards of the oil and gas sector, which are going to be presented today. And then we have a closing and a very defining conversation with the Honorable Minister and Secretary, sir, that's going to be moderated by a global energy expert and analyzer of the sector that shall mark the grand closing of the 4 days, consolidating all what we have captured, absorbed, and building on further the future of a more secure, sustainable energy future, especially as we talk about securing our economies, energizing growth, and yes, enriching lives of our people. We thank all the sponsors. We thank all the supporters. In fact, they stand as partners in success towards organizing the 4th edition, a successful one which then paves way for the next edition as we meet next year for the 5th edition of the India Energy Week. And from here on the journey towards realizing all what we have discussed and deliberated, all what we have absorbed, taking it to the implementation stage starts from today. As I thank you, may I once again request people who are joining us to be at your respective seats. Just a request to the awardees, our representatives shall guide you at your respective seats. You're requested, as the name is called on, you're requested to kindly move up on the stage from the steps which are on my right-hand side and your left-hand side. After having received the award, you're requested to disembark the stage from the other side and then back at your respective seats. We have our official photographers who are going to be taking the pictures. So don't worry, your pictures are going to be there and you can collect them later. Just a request to the awardees that once you've accepted the award, you just start moving towards the other end, disembarking and making way for the next awardee. Today, ladies and gentlemen, in this ceremony, we have almost 23 awards which are going to be presented. And we are going to be covering those awards, the award ceremony, in 20 to 25 minutes. So just once again a request to the awardees to be kindly moving up on the stage a little faster after having received the award, disembarking from the other side and making way for the next awardee to be joining us here on the stage and accepting the award. Ladies and gentlemen, these 4 days really accomplishing ones which we have had. Many collaborations and partnerships and deals which have been cemented here in these 4 days, many ambitions realized, many discussions and deliberations towards the policy reforms and the programs being initiated, and then many collaborations and partnerships with the other countries within the industry which have formulated here. We started, as we started on the day one, a very grand opening with the inaugural address of the Prime Minister Modi, who mentioned about, and I quote what he mentioned, "Today's India is a land of immense opportunities for the energy sector," and that is where the Honorable Prime Minister highlighted India's expanding role in the global energy demand and investment potential. He spoke about the huge investment potential which India is opening to the leaders of the world, to the energy leaders of the world. He spoke about making in India, innovating in India, scaling in India, investing in India, a call to the global energy leaders to be investing and partnering with India's energy ecosystem. The Honorable Prime Minister mentioned that India aims to raise almost $100 billion in the oil and gas investment by the end of the decade and significantly expand its refining and exploration capacity. Prime Minister also mentioned about offering investment opportunities worth $500 billion in the energy sector, marking a remarkable shift from the energy security to energy independence. That is where India aiming at becoming energy self-reliant, energy Atmanirbhar. We had the address, the keynote address from our Honorable Minister, Sir, Excellency Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri ji. He mentioned that he spoke about the India Energy Week being a platform bringing together all the stakeholders, the key stakeholders across the huge value chain of the energy sector amid a period of transition, amid a period of market volatility. Critical moment as it stands for our global markets, for geopolitics, for the climate change which we are experiencing. That is where India, ladies and gentlemen, stands determined towards its growth, but then a sustainable growth, a sustainable development, taking care of the environment. The global energy transition, as the Honorable Minister, Sir, mentioned, is fundamentally about energy addition rather than replacement. And that's where India, ladies and gentlemen, is tapping on all the major sources of energy, optimizing on all the sources of energy, oil, gas, biofuels, hydrogen, LNG, CBG, and thus, as the Honorable Minister said, emphasizing a more balanced, sustained investment across all the energy forms. The Honorable Minister, Sir, also mentioned that by 2050, India's share of the global energy demand is projected to rise by nearly 20 to 35%, reaching around 10% of the total global demand. Yet, with the per capita energy consumption still at 40% of the global average, India's growth journey remains both necessary and responsible. In the inaugural session, we also had the keynote address of Dr. Sultan Ahmed Al-Jaber, the Honorable Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, who's also the Managing Director and CEO of ADNOC. He mentioned about the global energy demand entering a phase of large-scale transformation, which is driven by emerging markets and diverse energy systems. He mentioned that the greatest risk which is facing the global energy system today is underinvestment, and that was something which was voiced in the later sessions also. And he called for a more balanced investment in building trust. He mentioned that trust for them is fundamental. He spoke about ensuring energy security, affordability, and sustainability. As an energy leader, he also shared with us the various initiatives which ADNOC is taking, leveraging on energy, leveraging on technology, moving towards becoming a more future-ready energy major. Seeking international cooperation, we had the voices expressed by the Energy Minister of Canada, Mr. Tim Hodgson. He mentioned that the era of energy shaped by the hegemony of the powerful is giving way to one defined by partnerships and balance. He recognized India as a critical market for expanding bilateral energy trade. We also had the Secretary General of International Energy Forum joining in the conversation, which was moderated by the opinion columnist Bloomberg. And the Secretary General also mentioned that he sees a lot of potential in India. He also mentioned that oil is not going anywhere. Oil is going to be continuously playing an important role in the energy basket. But yes, as we move towards building a more sustainable future, we need to consider the other greener sources of energy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a request to everyone to be kindly taking your seats. We are going to be shortly joined by the Honorable Minister and Secretary, sir, and then we start with the closing ceremony. May I just apprise you, August Catherine, they're already there in the complex. We are just waiting for everyone to be settling down. The awardees, once again, request to be at your respective seats, the designated seats for you, so that your movement on the stage becomes a little easier, as well as you disembark the stage after having accepted your award. And we are able to do the entire award ceremony within the stipulated time of 20 to 25 minutes, in which 23 awards, as I mentioned, are going to be presented today. Ladies and gentlemen, as you're all settling down, I think I'll just take once again the opportunity of going through the key achievements and the key milestones which we have covered during these 4 days. In these 4 days, we've had the joint statement between the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, India, and the Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources of Canada. This joint statement reaffirmed India-Canada commitment to strengthening energy security through a diversified and reliable supply chain. Both sides agreed to expand the bilateral energy trade, with Canada supplying crude LNG and LPG, and India exporting refined petroleum products. As our Honorable Minister has also mentioned, India is aiming towards becoming Atmanirbhar, self-reliant, and not only catering to its own demand, which is increasing because India, ladies and gentlemen, is moving ahead towards becoming a developed nation by 2047, a Viksit Bharat. For that, the demand of energy increasing, India is aiming at catering to its, not only towards catering to its own demand, but also the demand of the world. This partnership, which we had with Canada, also focuses on clean energy collaboration, including hydrogen, biofuels, carbon capture, critical minerals. The India-Canada Ministerial Energy Dialogue was also relaunched to drive long-term cooperation investments and technology partnerships. We had the hydrogen zone, which was inaugurated by our Honorable Minister. That was just after we closed the inaugural ceremony here. And hosted by Oil India, the hydrogen zone showcased cutting-edge hydrogen technologies and solutions which are shaping India's low-carbon future. There was a leadership panel that pegged natural gas as instrumental in reducing emissions. And further, for affordability, infrastructure and energy additions was mentioned are central to the pragmatic global transition. Energy leaders examined the evolving role of natural gas and LNG in strengthening energy resilience, supporting economic growth and enabling a more realistic and inclusive energy transition amid the geopolitical uncertainty and turmoil. We also had a session with OPEC, and OPEC projected India as the largest driver of global energy demand growth. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us is Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dr. Neeraj Mittal. We welcome him in the gathering. OPEC, ladies and gentlemen, also mentioned that India's energy demand is expected to double almost by 2050, as the oil and gas is expected to remain central to the global energy mix. So oil is not going anywhere. It continues to dominate our energy basket. The OPEC outlook underscored the need for sustained investments to meet the rising demand and offset natural decline rates. Globally, cumulative oil-related investments requirements at around 18.2 trillion USD between 25 and 2050. Nearly 15 trillion USD in upstream investment. The third day, yesterday, it saw and highlighted data, technology, and balanced pathways for energy security, bioenergy scale-up, integrated data, clean manufacturing, hydrogen momentum, and pragmatic coal transition shape India's Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. The third day, ladies and gentlemen, as it concluded, it reaffirmed that India's energy transition is going to be defined not by a single pathway, but by a coordinated approach that balances the growth and sustainability, innovation with reliability, and ambition with the realism. And in these 4 days, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Modi also met 27 global CEOs. 27 global CEOs, along with the Honorable Minister, sir, and the Secretary, sir. They flew down to New Delhi, and there was a meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister, sir. Global CEOs see almost 100 billion USD hydrocarbon opportunity in India, one what was expressed by our Honorable Prime Minister, and they stand confident to be implementing and articulating it on ground. 500 billion USD opportunity across industries. That is what the global CEOs expressed. India also looking for geothermal energy in a big way. The two-day CBG, the compressed biogas deliberations, all took place, and wherein India is aiming towards developing the CBG ecosystem, especially as it is aiming towards scaling up the CBG blending obligation, which is presently at 1%, scaling it to 5% by the financial year 28-29. And towards that, India working on building the ecosystem. And we had a two-day discussion and deliberations towards it. That will be a major, major milestone, achieving the 5% target for India's clean energy transition and waste to value journey. India-Netherlands roundtable was also held on creating ecosystem for green waterways. There was a session also on critical minerals. And as was reflected, the critical minerals search for tomorrow products will not only empower both the developing and the developed countries, but also create job opportunities. So promising 3 days it has been, accomplishing 3 days with almost 75,000 professionals who joined us in these 4 days. 700 plus exhibitors, 550 plus speakers, national as well as international global experts joining, expressing their perspective in the strategic sessions and the technical conference which we had. In the strategic conference, almost 300 plus speakers, and that was on 4 theme creators, 11 integrated themes. And then we had the technical sessions wherein almost 250 plus technical experts again shared their solutions, their technologies, their ideas. The day 2, which we had again, that was the 28th of January. The key takeaways, particularly of the day 2, we had focus on affordability, infrastructure, innovation, and policy alignment as major pillars of India's energy transition. The leaders highlighted the importance of affordable LNG, expanding city gas networks, electrification, and grid resilience. India's growing energy demand and global leadership role were reinforced with a very strong call for coordinated investment and technology-driven transformation. Under-investment in fossil fuels, renewables was also reiterated, a point which was mentioned by the UAE minister in the inaugural session. Also, the Honorable Minister in the inaugural address touched on during the conversations about the future aviation fuel, the SAF, and we also, during the other sessions, the opportunities which are there towards SAF, the emerging aviation fuel, were discussed. SAF needs to address the needs of nearly 30,000 aircrafts flying around the world, and India has the potential of being an exporter of the aviation fuel. So that was the key highlight of the SAF business session which we had. And shortly we begin with the closing ceremony. It's going to be a 1-hour closing ceremony in which we'll begin with the awards, leading to the conversation with the Honorable Minister, sir, and Secretary, sir. That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the closing defining conversation of the India Energy Week 2026, the 4th edition, just about to conclude here in Goa. Just a humble request once again to all in the August gathering to please have your mobile phones on the silent mode, on the meeting mode, please. So once again, thanks to all the sponsors, the partners in success towards organizing the 4-day conference and exhibition. Thank you to everyone to be staying with us till the last leg of the conference. And coming now to the grand closing, shortly joining the Honorable Minister, sir, along with the Secretary, sir, already in the August gathering.